Something that I'm thinking about, friends, with pDAI. Some people have asked me, they go, Sommi, a lot of people have a lot of like coins. How do you get these people with like 100 million pDAI? How do they all have $100 million? Well, I'll be honest. Something that came to me, it's very possible, friends, that if there's like a new stable coin, you might hand in 10 of this to get one of that. That could be it. It could be 10 to 1. I don't know. I just said 10 to 1 off the back of my head because if there's 44 billion supply, maybe you got to divide it by 10. The new one's only got 4.4 billion. That could be it. Where did I get this idea? It just came to me because let me tell you something what actually happened, friends. Do you know HEX, right? You know HEX, friends, had this big crash right here. You know, this was the big payday HEX crash. HEX went down 85% and it was a buy the dip. But do you want to know what happened? So if you staked HEX, you get a big payday bonus, all right? And some people were receiving like 10 times extra coins and everyone thought it was going to be game over. But what actually happened in the last minute, obviously Richard or whoever controls the origin address used the HEX, right? And they staked with the origin address. So they took all the yield and they made the yield of everybody. They thought they were getting like, 7 to 10 times more coins. They went down, bang, only around 30% more coins. Okay, only around 30%. So here's the thing. I remember Richard commented once. He briefly said something like, people were pissed off and upset at that. He goes, but where's your gratitude that you got free coins in the first place? But it's just that they thought they were getting 10x more. They only got 30% more. So maybe with pDAI, maybe, okay, effectively, if the new thing, I haven't hinted this from anyone. It could be that the new thing is you hand in like 10 to 1. It could be that. You hand in 10 to 1, you get something else. Because I'm assuming there's like the new P stable coins and the state with the mechanism going around, right? And like, yeah, it could be that. Which effectively means if you've got $1 million, you'll get 100,000 out of it. So in a nutshell, it's pDAI doesn't get to $1, pDAI gets to 10 cents. Right? That's how, if someone says to me, how do you account for all these? That could be it, man. That could be it. But remember, I haven't seen the next phases rolled out. Which is maybe Maria comes back, puts a new protocol out. There's buying and burning. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of liquidity required. Here's the thing. Like, how many coins can we burn now? How many people bought? I don't know. You notice that a lot of inflation comes out, right? It could be it. So, it's something I've just been thinking about. If I come back and I just show you the chart out here. Now, I don't know. I don't know what happens, man. I'm just guessing like everyone else. But it would actually mean that pDAI goes to 10 cents and everyone can actually get out. It could be that. Like it literally could be that, friends. But it could be like, okay, you're actually here because you could be getting 10 to 1. It would be something effective like that. So you got to think about it, right? Everyone wins. They just didn't win as much as they thought. You still won a lot. You just divided your final amount by 10. If it happened like that. Now, once again, I've not heard about this anywhere. But like, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not be surprised because inflation keeps coming out and there's people buying. Okay, could be it. So it turns out if you're one of the lucky, I guess, believers and it does work out, you were just buying the coins. But like, if you thought it was all going all $1, maybe it just goes to 10 cents and everyone can actually get out. Right? But it would be 3x above the previous high of about 3.5 cents. But here's the thing, like, can you really complain when it's literally letting you buy at this giant discount now? No, you can't. That's why only the believers make it. Right? So let me know what you think about that. Now, obviously, I just want to quickly clarify, friends. Let's just skip around, beat around the bush. So Cattie, who's a new character, all right, Cattie, she pretty much has alluded in some chats. Okay, I want to read for you and show you something. Okay, she's pretty much alluded in the Treasury Bill chat. Let's just show you the post here. This is from the Treasury Bill, one of the telegrams. Look at that. She said, when you have 3 stable coins pegged to each other, you can always make a dynamic 4th one. I'm like, interesting, a 4th coin, right? They can have the maker peg stability module style vaults between each other, right? Then Mr. Grumpy goes, looking forward to the dynamic 4th stable and its backings. Mr. Stu, is building oracles for specific assets something that's going forward? Would love to help where I can. So this is why, friends, I'm seeing her say the word 4th coin, and then that's reminding me of, friends, do you remember in Dikembe, I made a post here about there was Richard Hart's Heart-DAI, because 99 Capital discovered that they were testing another stablecoin on chain, and no one knew what it was meaning. So I made this very long and extensive post. I remember, I think I used Kyle Fart. He helped with a lot of the chat GBT section here. And I remember going through it. So like this is the reserve protocol thing. You have your new Heart-DAI, your new token, there's collateral, pDAI for it, and then you have these other back ones, PWBTC, HEX, PulseX, and the emergency collaterals, Ethereum. That could be something that's being built. Okay, it could be. That's like, it's, by the way, like it seems like it kind of is. So if it got to there, I want you to think about that. But we go, friends, I got no idea about this, okay? Because it's a dangerous, I'll be honest, it's a dangerous assumption. Because like, if you don't think this is going to work, right, don't get FOMO in your heart where you're like, oh crap, I'm going to get 10 times more supply. Like, you don't know, bro. I don't know. But it could mean people with 10 million pDAI, they have the $1 million. And people with 1 million pDAI end up with 100K. It could be that, right? 10 pDAI gets transposed to one of the new thing. So, and yes, this Heart-DAI, friends, it was tested out here. Now, you're probably wondering, like, Sommi, why would we even go to this new one? Is because it removes, I guess, the risks of PUSDC, pDAI, and whatever, like long term, okay? That's what it would be. And there's a lot of things out here. So this is like just... 99 found them. They were actually working on this, okay? And remember, friends, I haven't... Look at this. It's kind of funny. I actually mentioned Richard Hart's wallet here. Look at this. The Heart wallet will be used everywhere and accepted by merchants for worldwide adoption. The Heart wallet will be the world first of its kind, a native crypto wallet accepted at merchants which has its own native stablecoin, Heart-DAI. Okay? MetaMask and other wallets do not have their own stablecoin. That could be the plan, by the way. That could be the plan, friends. So yes, that's what I'm being honest. Like it might be that, but like, it's scary, man. It's scary. It's like, how much do you want to, bet on it? It's like, well, if you get it, it's effectively, Peter, I guess, at 10 cents as an effective measure now, you know? It's kind of funny, man, because I always said at 10 cents, I'll be euphoric. You know, now, that number ratio 10 to 1, I just divided it by 10, you know. And for all we know, friends, you know the number 10 to 1, I basically like, I'm thinking if I was one of the pulse chain pioneers, Richard Hart himself, maybe that number of how much you hand in, maybe it is, it's fluctuating over time, depending on how far Ethereum goes, right? Maybe for all we know, friends, maybe that was always part of the plan, but, you know, maybe because like Richard thought, like all of us, that Ethereum wasn't going to get cucked right now, maybe the plan was like, you know what, we might actually get all the way, you could hand in 1 for 1. Maybe Ethereum does go to 17K. This was years ago. But now Ethereum being such a cuckery, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're like, okay, I'll give you 10 to 1. You know, so yes. What would you think? I want to ask you a question, friends. And yes, my nipples are pegged. My nipples are pegged. Would you be happy if it went to 10 cents effectively, where like you hand in 10 for 1, you get something else, you get your dollar, right? Would you be happy with yours? Because it's profit from here, man. Well, effectively what I'm saying, like right now, from here to 10 cents, that's 116x. Yeah. Also, like, yes, I want to ask you that question because I've got to think about that myself as well. Would I be happy about that? Yeah, I'll be happy. Yeah. But you're dividing your upper number by 10 as well. It is something to think about. Like, here's another example though. Will you be happy if HEX stops at 30 cents this cycle? Yeah, it's our 60x away from now. Yeah, it's like 40 to 50, 60x. Would you be happy, or would you consider that failure? Because you're measuring it from the all-time high back then. We expectations that I was going to hit. I'm just asking this question out here. Something to think about. It might have more to do with Ethereum than we think. But yeah, I would love to just hear your thoughts on that. It's something that's just come to me. Maybe I'll do some sniffing around. Also, to be honest, maybe I haven't heard any idea like that, because that's actually what's going to happen. No one's even guessed that but me. I've just guessed that right now. I go, if there's all this inflation and the thing still plays out, how do we get the numbers for these? Like, the inflation's got to be burned, but they're in real people's hands that we know of, right? So that's just something I've been thinking about. And yeah, it does rely on that Ethereum away collateral. Yeah. So do some self-thinking yourself about that. I guess what I'm going to do, I'm mentally going to prepare myself right now. So it's very interesting, right? Like, of all the theories, I've never heard that one out. Even from people who mysteriously know what the future is going to hold. It's almost like that secret, if it happens, has been kept. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Right? Don't tell them, because they might... I don't know. It is something to think about. Or maybe it's just not going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong and it goes up there. Or maybe it doesn't go up. I don't know. No crying in the casino. Yeah, but during these times, you just got to think about it, man. Like, the upside's so big. So it's like 116x to 10 cents, but then it's 1,100x, whatever, to $1. 116x from today is still freaking fantastically enormous. Right? It does make you wonder, right? It's effectively, because it's 44 billion pDAI, maybe a few gets burned down. Effectively, you only need to cover $3 to $4 billion if that happens. Right now, you need to cover like 40 billion. But let's say they can get rid of the supply all the way back down to 20 or something, or 15. That's still a big difference, man. 3 to 4 billion versus 15 billion. I guess we'll see. Really is a believer cycle, isn't it? Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.